Well, good morning and welcome to First Friday. Happy New Year. Before we get started, I always like to thank our business sponsor for this morning's event. And actually, this time it is not a business sponsor, but it's two individuals who have made a significant impact on our community. This morning, our very own City Commissioner, Gary Hogsett, and his amazing wife, Dr. Ann Hogsett, are our sponsors for this morning's breakfast. So what that means for all of you, I always say this, is for them, it meant that their name was on the flyer that we sent out, on all of the flashes, on the programs this morning, and in the press release. And for all of you, they paid for the warm muffins and the fresh fruit and the hot coffee from Annie Mae's. So please help me thank our City Commissioner, Gary Hogsett, and his wife, Dr. Ann Hogsett. Thank you. And Dr. Ann could not be with us this morning. She reported to work at CRMC bright and early at 7 o'clock. And so what that means for all of us is, as long as Larry keeps the camera pointing this direction, she will never know how many of those muffins that we all ate this morning. First Friday is co-sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Independence as a way for us to keep the community informed about what's going on. So for all of you who are new this morning, it's an opportunity for you to visit with friends, meet new people, network, and finally just listen, learn, and ask questions about what's going on in our community. And with that, I want to tell you that in front of you, you each have a program. And if you flip that colorful program over, you're going to see 90 days worth of activities in our community. I'm going to hit the highlights of what's going on and make you aware of a few of the things that are happening in our community. So first of all, tonight is Bulldog basketball. We're taking on Labette County, and more importantly, it is, well, not more importantly, but equally as important, it is homecoming for some of the candidates on homecoming court. Homecoming will take place after the boys' game, so tonight is a big night at Independence High School. We have Recycling Collection Day. Tomorrow morning, you're going to hear more about that from one of our speakers. Saturday night is more basketball. Independence Community College will be taking on Butler County, so get out to the college. The women's game will start earlier at 4 o'clock, and then the men's will follow at 6 o'clock. Later on next week, we have a commission meeting, and that begins at 5:30 right over here in the Veterans Room. And what I want to point out regarding our commission meetings is just like First Friday being filmed today, our commission meetings are being filmed as well. And that is one more effort that the city is taking to make sure that everyone is well informed about the community. Because, just like First Friday, a lot of people can't be here this morning because they have to go to work, or they have children to get ready to get to school, or they're not able to get out. And by the city paying for the videoing of this event, that helps to keep everyone in our community informed, and that's the same for our commission meetings. So I appreciate them filming the commission meetings and making those meetings available for all of us to watch on TV. I will tell you that next Saturday is the Women for Independence. They're doing a consignment sale out at the 4-H buildings for used prom dresses and party dresses. So for all of you parents in the room of girls who might be needing dresses, there are flyers over on the table. It's a great way to get rid of those dresses that are in your closet and help others out. And all the money raised will go to support many different efforts that the Women for Independence support in our community. The Knights of Columbus will be having their annual steak dinner and dance next Saturday. Everybody knows where Joe's Barbershop is, so you can go get tickets from Joe. And then I will tell you that there are two dates that are connected to William Inge Theater Festival, and they are February the 14th and February the 28th. And what's cool about those dates is, we talk about the William Inge Theater Festival, but they've kind of they've come up with a new idea, and it's the William Inge Film Festival, and it's being sponsored by Independence Cinemas, and that is under the operation of our new chamber board member, Aaron Schrader. He is the owner and operator of Independence Cinemas. It's being sponsored by a local business that supports many efforts in the community, Express Employment Professionals. And what that means for us is that we have an opportunity to at least watch two of Inge's plays on the big screen. And that gives us an opportunity to see those works of art before the festival begins in April. So on Sunday, February 14th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, completely free, you'll be able to go and watch Bus Stop. And I think that's really cool. And then later on in the month, on the 28th, we'll be able to see a picnic on the big screen as well. So I think that's a nice addition to the theater festival. You'll see more information coming out about that soon. We have the high school musical that will be coming up the first weekend in March 4th and 5th. It's Guys and Dolls. And then 2 important fundraisers. You have the Lions Bean Feed, which is March the 7th. And then a few days before that, you'll have March the 5th is the Main Street's annual fundraiser. And that's always the first Saturday in March. Huge fundraiser. They will be using all those monies to continue to support downtown Independence. So I encourage you to get tickets and to also contribute to the cause. And wrapping this up, I want to make you aware that at the bottom of that calendar it says that if you have any community events or anything like that that you want us to know about, to please call the Chamber and make us aware of what's going on. Yes?
About the business after hours at City Hall and also the healthcare assessment on the 24th.
Okay.
Business after hours on the 23rd and the healthcare assessment on the 24th.
Business after hours will be at City Hall on the 23rd, and there's a healthcare assessment that is open to the public on the here at the Veterans Room on the 24th. Okay, at the Civic Center, and we'll be sending out information as well about that. And so regarding information, let me tell you that if you're not a Chamber member getting a lot of flashes, you can always go to our website and get that information. You can go to Get Independence on our Facebook page and get that information. We also do a community calendar that is taped and is played on 102.9, 94.9. Those are both FM stations. It also plays on 1010, the AM station. So if you have something that you want me to list on the community calendar, I'd be more than happy to do so. So just feed me that information, and we will share that with the public. We have comment cards on the table. All of our speakers today are here because of your comments and your request to hear them speak. So with that, we're going to get started. We're going to hear all of our speakers speak, and then after we're finished with any time that we have left over, we'll at that time entertain question and answer and then give you an opportunity to do a little 1-minute shout out if you have something that you want to share with everyone. So let's get started. Our first speaker for this morning is the new principal at the Independence High School. He spoke to us in August, and basically that morning we were just getting to know him. He was new to our community, and he is loving Independence, and he's here this morning to talk to us about a way that the city and the businesses and organizations can help support the school in helping them with their community service day. And as parents, you might be interested to know that they are thinking about changing the scheduling at Independence High School from a block schedule to a 7-day period. And here to explain all of that to us is our new Chamber board member and our new principal at Independence High School, Mario Sherrill.
Good morning. Let me first thank Lisa and the Chamber for having me speak to you this morning, and I also want to thank our superintendent, Mr. Rusty Arnold, for giving me the opportunity. As Lisa said, I am falling more and more in love with Independence each and every day. It's a great community. I am blessed to be the principal of a fantastic school, and with that comes more responsibility. If you've ever heard the saying, "For much is given, much is required." And so we're looking to enhance our high school programming and to take the learning of our students to the next level. With that, some of you might have heard that the new Commissioner of Education and the State Board are looking at a new accreditation model for the state of Kansas. And part of that that just came out, I was in a meeting with the Deputy Commissioner on Wednesday, they are really pushing civic engagement. Prior to this year, that has never been something that has really been focused on in the state of Kansas. But some of you might know Independence High School jump-started that ahead of most, if not all, schools in the state of Kansas by wanting to engage our high school students in service learning. Our superintendent came on board and he said, I really want students to give back to their community and be involved in community service. And then I talked with some of our teacher leaders and some of our students, and we decided to take that a step further and not just have have students have the opportunity to give community service, but to actually make it a streamlined program. And so we wanted to take it to the next step and do service learning. Service learning, the definition from the National Clearinghouse, is a strategy that integrates meaningful community service with instruction and reflection to enrich the learning experience, teach civic responsibility, and strengthen communities. So it's a little bit more than just community service. It's not students going out and picking up trash in the community, but it's actually with a focus. They engage in the process, and then they're required to come back and reflect and then present on how the experience helped them in their community. Why service learning? Well, our mission statement at the high school is to prepare students to become productive members of their society. So we really want them engaged with the community. We found that service learning would be a good avenue for our students to do that process. If you may not know, our theme this year are the 3 R's: rigor, relevance, and relationships. We also know that this experience would not only increase the rigor, but it'll also make learning for our students relevant and actually be something that's hands-on. And it does build relationships both with students and teachers, and students in their community. There are 5 major components of service learning. They are investigate, plan, action, reflect, and celebrate. And I'm going to go through each one of those briefly. The first component, investigation, requires that students investigate community problems or opportunities that exist that they can potentially address. Investigation typically involves some sort of research and mapping activity. After they identify an area they want to focus on, they plan and prepare to engage in that process. Teachers, students, and community members plan with the learning and service activities and address the administrative issues needed for a successful project. So if I want to take a brochure that's printed by the city and actually translate it to Spanish, what's all required in that process? Who do I need to contact? Who do I need to have it proofread? How much does it cost to get reprinted? Where do I want this brochure to be displayed to help those members of community that don't speak English? Then they take action. This is the heart of the project. This is actually students doing the work of the service learning that they've already mapped out during the planning phase. Then it's reflection. These are activities that help students understand the service learning experience and to think about its meaning and connection to them. So again, engaging them in civic responsibility. It connects them to their society and what they've been learning in school. And then there's the demonstration or celebration part. This is the final experience when students, community participants, and others publicly share what they've learned and celebrate, and they celebrate with the rest of the service learning community and the community at large. I wanted to share with you some examples of service learning projects. The one that I just spoke about, a Spanish class actually translating a brochure that's printed in English to help those families that do not speak English. Students in wood shop can make wooden toys and donate them to local establishment for disadvantaged or ill children. A government class can research and design a placemat containing voting information and a brief sketch of candidates and have those placemats sat in restaurants in lieu of the current placemats that are there. A health class can research emergency preparedness and devise a list of contents for a proper first aid kit. They can then go out and collect those items and then prepare kits for emergency response. History students can create a local newspaper from a specific time period and actually go into elementary schools and teach that specific time period to our elementary students. They can also leave that information in libraries so anyone and everyone can have access to it. We can do a salute to veterans. Our facts classes that are already feeding some of our stakeholders can actually create a breakfast and have those veterans come for breakfast, and then other students can partner with them and engage in civic responsibility by hosting and putting on an assembly to honor our veterans. I want to switch gears and talk to you a little bit about the 7-period day. I only have 10 minutes, so I'm going to go a little fast. And I do have a meeting this morning with some teachers. I told Lisa I'll stick around as long as I can, but I do want you to know in advance that I'm always available for any questions, comments, or concerns. You can come up and visit with me. You can call me or email me, and I'll be more than happy to talk about anything that you need. We are looking to switch to a 7-period day. This is not a new conversation for Independence. This has actually been a conversation at the high school for the last 5 years. I had an opportunity to go and look through files, and the current assistant principal that's been there, this is her 3rd year, provided me with some survey data, some stakeholder input about changing from the block to a 7-period day. And so now we look forward to making the move, and I just kind of want to tell you why this is even a conversation at Independence High School. Currently, we've not been budgeted for a 32-period schedule. What does that mean? That means that currently, right now, our students have the opportunity to earn 8 credits per year. That's 32 credit hours. We don't have the elective teachers or the elective classes to offer them a 32-hour schedule. And as late as last year, right before I came in July, just in May, we had already reduced elective teachers yet again. So what does that result in? That results in us really offering what I consider a watered-down curriculum. We have now more opportunities for students to take multiple PE classes. They have shortened schedules where they leave early from school. They are taking more TA classes where they sit in a class that does not have necessarily a curriculum, but they assist teachers by going and get their mail or filing papers for them. That's not rigorous, and that's not the kind of high school we want to foster. We want our students engaged in rigorous curriculum. So what we'd like to do is to take that 32 and reduce it to 28, giving students 7 periods a day. That reduces the opportunity for them to be in multiple PE classes, and it also reduces the opportunity for them to take a shortened schedule, but actually be in classes with curriculum that's rigorous, and that's actually preparing them for life beyond high school. We also had an advanced ed visit just this past fall. They came in December, and one of the powerful practices they said that we had was our advisory period. Our students love the fact that they have the opportunity to connect with one adult and stay with that same adult over the course of their 4-year tenure. And so we can expand our advisory by adding another section of advisory at the end of the day if we switch off the 8-period day. And the biggest and most important to me is the additional instruction time that's going to be allotted with this switch. The numbers don't lie. I just kind of want you to look at that for a moment. Currently on block, our students in Independence have 3,660 instructional minutes with our teachers. For first semester, 3,975 for second semester. Course of 1 year, your child that is in Math 2 or English 2 or AP Language and Composition, they're getting 7,635 minutes. By switching off the block, we increase that significantly to 8,550 minutes per class, per year. That means that in 1 year, our students will receive 915 additional instructional minutes. The data doesn't lie. It speaks for itself. We believe that increasing contact time between our students and a certified and qualified teacher will significantly increase our student achievement. This equates to 18.9 additional days of instruction. We're not adding days to the calendar. What we're doing is bringing our schedule down to 7 periods, which results in increased instructional time per class per all the other 7 classes. What does this really mean? Most of our students stay in Independence. We don't have a revolving door. By changing to the 7-period day, our students gain a full semester of learning over the course of 4 years. We're one of the only high schools that are still on the block schedule in the area. We really want to go to this schedule. It does enhance the learning for our students and does increase instructional time. And that's really why we want to switch off the 8-period day. Switching to a 7-period day will not result in a reduction of staff. It just increases instructional time by 915 minutes per class. So of all the 7 classes they take, they get 915 additional minutes per class. Some advantages that our teachers came up with, that it increases the opportunity to build relationships. They're no longer seeing students 3 days a week. They now see students 5 days a week. So the daily contact with students, we don't have to worry about, is it an A day, a B day, or a C day like our current schedule. It's a consistent schedule. It does make them teach bell to bell. There's no relaxed time where students can just sit. It does have the possibility to increase learning and test scores. These are all from teachers. This list came from teachers. There's no reduction in staff, and we get to further utilize advisory. I do want to tell you there are some administrative things we have to consider. Our teachers have to collaborate more to make sure that we're not giving students more homework that they can't handle, because right now they have homework maybe from 4 classes. Now they could possibly have homework from 7 classes. We also need to realize what we're talking about, because most students take 4 core classes, and they have classes like PE or wood shop that don't require them to do homework, so it's not like they're really going to have 7 classes where they have homework. And so there are some things. Our teachers will get 1 less planning period a day. They'll go from having 90 minutes every day to 50 minutes. But again, some of the most successful high schools with the best test scores in the state of Kansas are on the 7-period day. They have found for years that it has worked. We really want to go to this because, again, it's going to enhance the learning for our students by really impacting them in their achievement by increasing the contact time between them and their qualified teacher. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mario. And these are always kind of fast-paced events. I know you would love to hear more from Mario, and I already have First Fridays lined up through April, so we have lots of information we're trying to share with the community. So I apologize that all of our speakers don't get 20 and 30 minutes to deliver the message, but just like Mario said, their doors are always open, and if you have any questions, you can give them a call at any time. It's time for our next speaker. She is the Executive Director of the Independence Community College Foundation. She's here this morning to talk to us about the foundation, make us aware of that, and also to tell us about a fun fundraiser that is coming up, Indie Dancing with the Stars. Please help me welcome my friend Lori Shaw.
Thank you. I'm going to try to see if I can see from here. The Independence Foundation was founded in 1968. One of our founding fathers is here, Mr. Tim Emmert. But anyway, since 1968, the foundation has been honored to supply students like Kylie with scholarship opportunities so she can reach her goals. And it's a great job to be in, helping students. This fall and spring semester, we will spend over $90,000 in scholarship funding that will touch about a little over 140 students, and that's the most we've ever spent in history, so that's really exciting. We've grown that number every year, and that's only because we have great alumni and friends of the college that believe in what we're doing. We also do a lot of campus support that people may not realize. The biggest project we've done lately is the Stelting Veterinary and Technology Center, and that the foundation, the college, and a group of steering committee made up of community members worked very hard. We raised a little over $700,000 that enabled this program to go in, and Independence Community College is one of the only community colleges in southeast Kansas to offer this program. We've also spent money to help support the Fab Lab, the growing music department. We've purchased instruments, choir robes. Right now we're trying to help them raise money to go on their Mexico trip so the students don't feel the pain of the passports and the expense. They plan on doing some performances on a cruise ship, and then once they get in Mexico. So that's really fun. So we try to support things that make these students have the greatest memories they can when they walk away from ICC. Now, the most fun thing that we do is Dancing with the Indie Stars. This is our 9th annual. Over the past 10 years, we've raised over $60,000 to support scholarships and programs on campus. It's really fun. What's really fun is when you try to talk someone into dancing and this look of horror comes across their face. But at the end, they've all had a wonderful time. In fact, the guys have probably the most fun. I don't know if they're amazed with what their feet are able to do or what, but anyway, it's a great time. It's only made possible because we have some great people that help us cover the costs of this event. This year we have 4 producers that are helping to fund this, as well as all of these individuals and in town that get behind us each year to help us fund this. So thank you to them. Our dancers, we have Mitchell and Rebecca Pites. John and Stephanie Turner, our student dancers, Kyle Johnson and Molly Hunninger, and then Cole and Brittany Thornton. They will be performing. They have been working for the past 6 weeks, perfecting their skill to win the judge's prize. So it's not just a thrown together thing. These are choreographed dances. Mandy and her husband danced last year, and they were fantastic. I have not walked away from this event going, that one was bad. I mean, they're all just so good. So I really hope you can come out and join us. Besides dancers, we have celebrity judges. You might know some of them. And they have the task of picking one of those couples as our champion. And then we also have a people's choice, which our audience gets to decide on. Cody Dixon, she will be performing a special dance performance. She's our resident choreographer, and she's been doing this since the very beginning, so she does a great job. And then this evening, for the first time, we're going to have a duo being our hosts of the evening. Princess Leia and Eric and Michelle Rutherford are going to be doing the hosting, and plus they have a couple of special treats lined up for everybody that attends. So don't forget, come out, enjoy an unforgettable moment from songs from the silver screen. We've got some great food lined up, some fantastic desserts made by local people. We're adding a raffle this year. We hope you'll like that. And then there's some other little surprise in there, but I don't want to give it away. So tickets are $25. The funds this year go to support the admissions and recruitment department at ICC. We're trying to get behind the enrollment growth for them. They're going to use the money to help fund events for students coming on to tour the campus. So that's a good thing. Tickets are at Magnolia's Sense by Design. They're always so great to sell tickets for us, or you can go online, or you can just call me, and I'll sell you a ticket. In fact, I got them here today. So anyway, it's a great time, and I hope you come out and join us. Thank you.
Thank you, Lori. When I was trying to think about different speakers to bring to you during First Friday, one of the things that I thought about is the fact that we're really working hard to partner with Independence Community College and bring the community college more into the community, make the community more aware of all the great things that are going on out on the ICC campus. And just like we've talked about, we have great things going on with the William Inge Theater Festival, with the Independence Community College Foundation, and we also have a lot of athletic groups that are functioning out at the college. And I thought it would be interesting to have some of our athletic coaches come and talk about their sport. So I reached out to Tammy Heldenace. She is the athletic director, and she has lined up all of the coaches to come periodically during the year at appropriate times and speak to you about the sports that they coach out at Independence Community College. So with that, I want to introduce to you Bo Schultz, the coach of the baseball team at Independence Community College. I've known Bo for many, many years. Bo lived in Independence, was raised here, went to school here, moved away for a while, and has come back to raise his family in Independence, which again thrills me to pieces when we have our young professionals come back to our community. So with that, please welcome the coach of Independence Community College's baseball team, Bo Schultz.
Lisa makes her feel really important when she introduces you, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I've ever felt so important in my life as just that introduction. And but I do appreciate everybody allowing me to be here. I'm honored to be the first athletic staff member to be here to talk to you. So hopefully if this is bad enough, you'll forget about me here in the next couple of weeks after you hear everybody else. This is my 5th year of being back here, being the head baseball coach here. Went to a different junior college. Don't judge me for that. And then I went to Pittsburgh State, finished up my career. I was fortunately able to be a special ed teacher for 3 years in Pittsburgh and the Carl Junction districts, and found my way back at Pitt State as a full-time assistant baseball coach, the first one they ever had. I caught wind that this job was getting ready to open here at ICC. I was fortunate enough that they gave me the opportunity to do what I'm able to do, and I'm truly, truly thankful every day for being back home, being around people that I care about dearly, and just being back in Independence on a daily basis means a lot to me and my family. I have a 6-year-old. He just turned 6 3 weeks ago. Him and my stepdaughter, who's 11, they're eating pancakes right now with their Grammy. So I was able to come to this today, which once again, that's what you get when you come back home. You know, my family brings my children up, and not somebody else. No offense to anybody who has to do anything like that, but it means the world to me. And my wife, when I get done with, or about the last hour of practice every day, my wife brings my kids out to the ballpark, and they love being at the ballpark every single day. And it scares me a little bit about my stepdaughter, who's now 11. She's starting to notice things that she normally hasn't been noticing, but for the 6-year-old, it's just the coolest thing I've ever been a part of. He had a birthday party 3 weeks ago. Like I said, he invited 10 ball players to be there, and all 10 baseball players showed up at the Nazarene Activity Center, even though I told them don't. It was their first off day in quite some time, but they all showed up, and even I fought some tears back. I was making fun of my wife for it at one point, and next thing you know, they started rolling on me. But that's the kind of things you get when you come back to Independence, and I'm truly honored and proud of where I'm from, and this place gave me the opportunity to come back and coach. I was, however, one of the first group that was got designated to be in the block scheduling in high school here, and you need to listen to that guy because my group didn't turn out so hot. All right, so whatever your thoughts are on all that, you need to get on with him. All right, I promise. I promise. A little bit of an update on what's going on with ICC baseball. We open up tomorrow at 12 o'clock in Edmond, Oklahoma. We play a community college called Redlands. They're in El Reno. They're in the southwest corner of the state, southwest of Oklahoma City. And anyway, we have them for a doubleheader there, and then we meet them at Claremore on Tuesday. And then Thursday we're at Eastern in Wilburton. And then a week from tomorrow, we are at home for our home opener. If you notice, that sounds like a lot of baseball games, and I know it's early February. I believe it or not, I do make the schedule. But we play every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I truly would appreciate it if any of you would be able to make it out to a ball game this year. I encourage you to look at the weather beforehand and maybe not put all your trust in the weatherman, but keep an eye on that, and it'd be nice to have some more people come out to our games. We got some nice ball players. We've had some local guys in the very recent past. We have a lot of kids from the southeast Kansas area, and my philosophy is you can win college baseball games with kids from Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. We got 2 from Missouri. We have 1 from Iowa and 1 from Colorado. So my point is, if you're in the state of Kansas when you're playing in this conference that is, in fact, the best in the entire country at the junior college level, you can still win ball games from kids that you may know of Or you may have family that lives in Kansas City or Wichita, and you know their grandson is going to come out here and play baseball or whatever sport or be a part of our community college. But like I said, we play every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Half the games are here, half the games are on the road. But like I said, it'd be great to see some of you out there. We have received a lot of your financial support in the past, and I truly am thankful for that. Because just like any community college, money is obviously a battle. We fight hard to. We're appreciative of what we have, because we got a lot more than some. We really do. But we have to get out there and do more fundraising than some others, and that's part of it. But and many of you have been very considerate as far as your donations that you've given us. But our guys like seeing people at the ballpark. They really do. It's just like we've all been there, that first time that you see one of your math teacher at a game that you're performing in, or at a band concert, and you look up in the crowd and you see not only your parents, but you see that instructor that you didn't even know liked you. And there's something about that. And our junior college baseball players, they're 18 to 21 years old, and they look like men, but they're still kids, and they do appreciate looking up there and seeing somebody's out there maybe to support them. But that's all I got. Ask me questions. I'm better at answering questions than I am getting up here. So thank you for your time, and please contact us if you need anything from us. Thank you.
Thanks, Bo. And Brad Henderson is the marketing director at the community college, and he keeps us well informed of things that are going on out at the college. So hopefully he will be sending us maybe the baseball schedule, and we can start fleshing that out and making people aware of all the home games so you can get out and see those. Moving right along, we have a dynamic duo up next. They're going to share their 10 minutes of time. And I was thinking about how I would introduce them, and I struggle with sometimes thinking, are you really making a difference, or what's your purpose? I'm sure all of you think about that. You just go to work every day and go home and go, did I really accomplish anything, or did I make a difference? And I will tell you that these two men that are about to speak, without a doubt, can always say that they are making a difference. They're making a difference in the lives of people in our community, and I think that's what makes Independence special. So with that, I want to introduce the founder and a board member for the Community Mission for Improved Housing. His name is Jerry Bright, and he will be followed by an additional board member, Chris Mitchell, who are going to talk to you about all the differences they are making for people in Independence that need our assistance. So please welcome Jerry Bright.
Thank you, Lisa. Community Missions is all about helping people that with disabilities, the unfortunate, that's having problems in their homes like leaky roofs. I've been in homes with no floors at all in their kitchens, their bathrooms, and people living in them with no utilities. And I'll give you an example here. This was the first house that we done, and I call that Tommy's house. And the upper picture is his kitchen floor. And I walked in his house one day. I was giving him a ride to go to work, and it was raining, and it was very, very cold out. And when I walked in, the living room floor was like a trampoline. And I heard a noise to my left, and when I looked, the water was running directly in on what would have been the kitchen floor, but the dirt underneath. And I went ahead and took him to work. Never thought much about it that day. And that night when I get home, you take for granted what you have. And I go in, I take a shower, turn my heat up because it's cold out, and I'm thinking, what's this guy doing? How's he staying warm? So the next day I go to his house, and I pick him up and take him to town, try to find something that I could get him some help with, and was unable to do so. So we go back to his house and we try to start things ourselves, trying to fix mainly the roof. And I want to tell you how the community came together, and it's important to me, is a guy come by and seen us on a ladder, and it was my brother. And I'm not supposed to be on ladders or anything, so he jumps on me and tells me to get off the ladder. And he said, go get in the truck and get warm, I'll be right back. So he comes back in about 30 minutes, and he's got 2 roofers. And he has them fix the roof so it doesn't leak any longer. And then another friend named Steve Greer, he's a local electrician. He came through to check the wiring because we was going to have the electric turned back on, make sure it was safe. And he comes in the house and looks, and he said, oh my, Jerry, he said, how you going to do this? I said, I don't have any idea. He said, well, I'm going to call Woods Lumber, and you go charge to me whatever you want. And I said, you better look around a little bit because there's a lot of work here. And so I did, and I would charge so much, and then I'd call him and say, this is what I spent. And he'd say, get some more. I've done that several times. But, the bottom picture is the kitchen when it was complete. So now the man's got all his utilities, got a new roof, new heat, new front porch, really a completely new house. And he's got a refrigerator and stove, which he hadn't had in years. But he went from no utilities to that within just a few months. And this is a picture when we completed the house. The reporter came and done an article on us, and that's when things really began to take off. I went to town, and people started stopping me. It come out in a Sunday's paper, and people began to stop me uptown and handing me cash and say, here, do something with this. Materials, Don Hill. He was the first one to donate materials to us. Rob Davis. He stopped me at the courthouse and gave me $200 bills and said, here, do something with this. We had no idea about community missions at that time. It was just a friend helping a friend. But with the reporter doing the article that they did, and I hate to give Steve credit, but I'm going to anyway. I don't know where we would be without the reporter doing that article, and I thank you for that. And this is a job here. Tanya King. Her roof had leaked for over 4 years, and she couldn't get help. And we had heard about her, so we gathered up enough money that we could either buy the materials or do the labor, but we didn't have both. So I was backing in my driveway. This is how things happen here, and the good people from Independence, and that's why I want to tell the stories. I was backing in my driveway. My phone rings, and it's Josh Heller from H&H Roofing. And he said, Jerry, Independence has been good to me, and I want to give something back. I said, well, you called the right fella, because I know a lot of people. And he went and looked at the house that day, and he said, I'll do the labor, do all the tear off, and replace the roof. You buy the materials. You buy the materials through us, we get them cheaper for you. It's okay. So they did that. And one day, they completely tore the roof off and put her a new roof on. And the lady cried the whole time we was there. And maybe a month or so goes by, and I'm needing a bill from Josh to pay the bill for the materials. So I finally catch him at his office, and I said, Josh, I need a bill to pay this. And he said, I've been thinking about that. He said, you just take that money that you owe on the roof and help somebody else. So he done that complete job on his own. And She called me about a week later, and she was crying again, and it was raining. And she said that's the first time in 4 years that she could enjoy the rain by just looking out the window at it raining instead of raining in the house. But that's the difference that the community, that's a picture of her house before. And that's a picture afterwards. But I love how people in this community step up and help when they see something that needs to be done. This job I'm very proud of. This is on 16th and Myrtle, and we redone the bedroom for the lady, rebuilt the bedroom, and put a new roof on. But the people involved in this job, we decided that we'd go to the churches and try to get people from the churches to come out and help. I thought that might be a chore with all the different type of churches, different beliefs. People told us it couldn't be done. But when we got started, it was very easy. Every pastor that I talked to really didn't even let me finish my little speech I had for them before they said, "We're in. What do you want us to do?" So we on this particular job, I'm getting ahead of myself. Once we got 9 pastors to help on this project. So I thought, that's pretty good. Let's see how much further I can go. So I hit all the commissioners up and the mayor. And every one of them, yes, we'll be there. You know, Leonard and Gary and Fred. And so I go up to City Hall. I'm really getting bold now, see. So I go to City Hall and I go upstairs to the Housing Authority and I talk to April Nutt. And of course, she said, yes, I'm in. You know, I'll be there. And she's helped on several projects with us. So I thought, okay. I go get on the elevator and I go downstairs and I start to leave and I look at the office to my right. And it's the city manager. I thought, I feel pretty good. I'm going in there. So I go in and talk to Kelly. And Mr. Webb invited me into his office. And I told him what we was doing. He said, I'm in, I'll be there. And he was. And spent the day with us on this job. So I'm very proud of this job because of the people that stood up. These guys work hard. They're under stress every day. Saturday should be a treasure for them to get away. But they choose to get out and help in the community on their only days off. And to me, that speaks pretty highly of these people. This is the same house. This was her bedroom ceiling. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office has a crew called the D40 crew. And it's 7 or 8 inmates and a guard that goes out every day and helps in the community. And this particular job, they did the bedroom for us, remodeled it and everything with the inmates. So thanks to Bobby Dirks, the sheriff, for coming up with that program. A lot of people don't even know about that, but he does it on a daily basis. This is Melissa Cooper. She's a sweet little lady. She has seizures. They found her on the floor. Right before I met her, she lay there for almost 2 days, and nobody knew she was there. And her roof leaks really bad, and she's got all kinds of problems. But we got to go into her house, and is that a hint? Okay. Anyway, we got to help her complete her house, and I better quit. She done slid the chair back. Thank you very much for your time.
Hi, I'm Chris Mitchell. I was just cute. I've got 1 minute, so I'm going to try to make this brief. And Jerry did such a wonderful job at sharing with it. It's hard to embellish any further. But I just want to share with you of how 7 people. That's Ashley Newland, Mary LaCrousey, Renita Butler, Cindy White, Jurgen Honk, Jerry Bright, myself. How could we have the courage and the faith to believe that we could help change this situation in this community? And I want to tell you, it's one answer. It's the heart of Independence. I moved here in the early summer of '07, just in time for the 100-year flood. And I want to tell you, I didn't know anybody here, but I saw something I'll never forget. And that was the heart that poured out to help the hurting people that were affected by that flood. And as director of the Home Sweet Home Homeless Ministry for Men, I want to tell you, I see on a daily basis the heart of this city. And not to just put money toward it, but hearts are willing to roll up their sleeves and say, I don't just have empathy, but what can I do to personally help? And I'm very proud of this city, and that's how we have become to move this far with this project in less than 18 months, 15 projects. That's because of the heart of this city. And I just thank you so much to be a part of this community. I'm very proud. And it's no surprise that we would choose a day called Love Independence Day to do random acts of kindness, because that's who we are.
Gary, you have a tough act to follow. You know, Chris and Jerry come by the office from time to time, and they always have great stories to tell when they come by, and we all usually end up crying by the time that they're done telling our stories. So, again, almost like Mario, I wish that we had more time to listen to the great stories, because they're changing lives and making an impact on the people who need us the most in our community. And again, that's what makes Independence a wonderful place. Our last speaker today is going to wrap up and tell us about a great celebration that's coming up that falls right in line with the mission work that these two gentlemen and their board of directors are doing in the community. So with that, I want to welcome our last speaker for today, our City Commissioner, Gary Hogsett, who will be talking about recycling tomorrow and Love Independence.
Sure. Yes.
All right. Lisa, you'll just have to cut me off, because I don't know how we're doing on time. But everybody that knows me knows I love to talk. The only thing I love better than talking is talking with a microphone. So I apologize that she'll have to stop me, because I get very passionate about things. I knew I didn't want to follow those two guys. They're absolutely two of my heroes in town. And they're like, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Come on. I mean, serious? Jeez. Okay, now, I was asked to remind everybody about recycling. I wanted to start with this photo, though. It has nothing to do with recycling. This is the new meeting room for city commission meetings. We have had that specially made. The way I understand it, Mickey, help me out if I mess this up, but the 3 commissioners will be locked in there with a padlock, and nobody leaves until some conclusion is reached. Now, I have been warned already, Leonard, who favors Harley-Davidson motorcycles, second only, he loves them almost as much as his wife. I read on Facebook you keep your Harleys in the living room. I don't know if that's true, but if I read on Facebook, it's true, right? I'm told that, that since he drives a Harley, he also has a switchblade and brass knuckles. But that's profiling of the worst sort, and I will have nothing to do with it. But no, seriously, this is our recycling trailer that we have had custom made, and we will start collecting tomorrow. I've had a lot of people say they're very excited about it. I know people have been looking for this for years. Tim Haynes has worked very hard to bring this about, and many others. Dan Barwick has pestered me. Les Puterbaugh, I try to go in and eat, because he's got a wonderful salad bar and he's right across the street. I eat there a lot, and for like 50 times I went in there, he's like, when are we going to start recycling? I'm like, geez, get off my case, So it was worth the cost of this just to get less off my back. But anyway, we are starting tomorrow morning. Be very patient if you're taking things tomorrow. We don't know exactly how it will work. We don't know the logistics exactly, except we know that Mike Passur is a genius at this kind of thing. He will make it work. We'll have city staff there to take your recycling. It's at our sanitation yard, 21st and Maple, 8 to noon tomorrow, and every first Saturday after that. Things you can recycle, the list is pretty long, really. Cans, aluminum and steel, almost any kind of paper, books, catalogs, newspapers, junk mail, whatever you got. They'll take batteries, car batteries, household batteries, etc., plastic containers, numbers 1 through 7, glass bottles. They do ask that you remove the lids, and then even take e-waste and cell phones. So it's a really pretty comprehensive list. And again, we'll know a lot more how this is going to go after tomorrow, because I've had several people say, I've been saving up for like years. I've got a garage full of stuff. So tomorrow might be a little dicey. So be patient, but we do ask you to go out and give it a try if you've got recycling. Some things you cannot bring. This is not a citywide cleanup day. Don't bring tires, hazardous waste, paint cans, light bulbs, things like this, paper towels. Please, be reasonable. These are things you can't bring. But we're very, very excited about this. A lot of people have worked for it for years and years and years. When I first got on City Commission, I was overwhelmed with people telling me, first of all, where are the downtown trees? And secondly, why don't we have recycling? So we're pleased to have this first effort starting tomorrow morning. Now, I can't talk, Lisa knows this whenever she asks me to talk, I can't talk without saying some things I'm just excited about. And I'm really excited about some things in town. This one's very high on my list. Ned, I want to give a big round of applause to Ned Stickman. This is the first new bricks I've seen downtown. This building was collapsing, and Ned has poured the money into it. I read on Facebook he has invested $2.7 trillion. And if it says it on Facebook, it's true. And he told me a couple days ago, I'm going to have the best-looking empty building downtown. I don't believe it. If you make a building beautiful, people will want to move in there. Ned, thank you so much for that. Here's another one that's underway. I don't know exactly what's going on. Isn't this going to be covered at our Muffins with Main Street? So come to Muffins with Main Street. They're going to reveal the mystery of this one right here between the vape shop and the drive-through bank. I don't know what's going on there, but they're pouring tons and tons of money in that. $2.7 trillion is what I read on Facebook. So it's got to be true, right? So this is very exciting. Most downtowns in small towns are declining. Ours is clearly having some major investments. I don't know if you're familiar with this place. There's no name on the front of the building, right next to the game cycle, though. This was one of the first groups to take advantage of the housing authorities' incentives to improve our downtown by building upstairs housing. This place is amazing. I went up and looked at the apartments, and they're just beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. The front one is rented. The second one is available, $595 a month. If you know somebody looking for an apartment, it's a beautiful place. I know Mario lives downtown. I'm not a stalker, Mario, but he lives right across the street from my office, so I see him come and go. If Rusty ever wants to know where Mario is, I can tell him because I keep an eye on him. This one, right next door to Uncle Jack's, Jackson Hewitt. Holy smokes, this place is amazing. Gerald McDonald. This is a luxury apartment up there. It is just absolutely magnificent. Again, he's taken advantage of some of our incentive funds we're offering downtown. Some great things happen in downtown. Now, this is something I don't know if everybody's aware of. I wanted to make you aware of it in case you're not. The independent cinema. Other small towns are losing their movie theaters. I mean, lots and lots and lots of movie theaters. You have so many options to watch movies now. Just the opposite. We have a young man that is investing tons of money in this place. I read on Facebook he's investing $2.7 trillion, but I'm not sure that's true. But Aaron Heckman and I went by to check on progress yesterday. It's unbelievable what he's doing. So they've taken out all the seats in one of the theaters, and they're putting electrical outlets at every chair because the seats will be electric recliners. Holy smokes. This place is going to be the coolest movie theater around. He is really, really, really investing his heart and soul in it. And so I'm encouraging everybody to support him. He's only going to be open today and tomorrow before they're going to be closed for about a week or so as they put in all the new seating. I've been told, I haven't seen this, I'm told it's a fabulous movie, a true story about a great rescue effort. We have a lot of amazing heroes in this town, but it's nice to go hear a story about a hero once in a while to be inspired. So please consider, I know we have games every night and things going on, Dancing with the Stars, but please support our local movie theater. Now, the reason I wanted to start with some good news is because the bad news just travels so darn well. I don't know why that is. Mark Twain said, a lie can get halfway around the world before the truth can even get its boots on. And Samuel Clemens died in 1910, so he didn't have to deal with Facebook and the internet. But it's amazing how bad news travels. It's just, somebody put a sign in our front yard, somebody that lived down on Poplar. We're at 10th and Poplar. I don't know where they live down on Poplar. They put a sign in our yard saying moving sale. They meant down the street. So all day long, people are saying, you guys are moving. It's like, wait, what? We didn't even realize why they were saying that, but it's like unbelievable how fast bad news travels. And you got to make a real effort to counteract that with good news. And we have so much good news in this community. I'm telling you, this town is very, very special. I've never seen anything like it. You know, we looked all over. We visited like 90 cities before we decided to move to Independence. So we have a little committee within the Chamber of Commerce called Independence Pride Committee. And this is something we've been wanting to do for a long time. It's going to be called Love Independence. We're going to have one day where we're encouraging everybody in the community to practice random acts of kindness. Find something you can do for somebody else that day that's not your typical, spouse or next door neighbor. Find somebody that you can do something to show love for. It can be anything you can dream up. We've had a lot of people talking about this already. We've been trying to promote it. It's April 30th. People that have asked me for suggestions, I have said, of course, over and over, the best suggestion is, take a city commissioner to lunch. And, we have 3, but start with the tallest. But really, find something that you can do for the community or somebody in the community to show love. Whether if you've got money, come up at Anna Mae's and buy people their coffee in the morning, or do a neighborhood cleanup. The thing I'm most excited about is the guys that just spoke. They're trying to get several projects together so volunteers can turn out and help maybe paint somebody's house or fix up somebody's house. I think Jerry and Chris are hoping to have maybe 2 or 3 projects that day, so anybody that wants to volunteer can volunteer in that way too. Lots of neat things that people are talking about. We encourage you to get involved. Think of some projects for this day. I'm very privileged to announce that I just heard from Karen that Independence Community College has the first official Love Independence Day activity. You might remember Reggie Myers. Reggie Tapman Myers was here in October. When Independence Community College, I'm not sure if Karen gets the credit or Mary Jo or whoever, heard about this, they said, let's see if we can get Reggie back. Reggie travels the world, and he is going to be here for Love Independence Day to give dance lessons to anybody that wants to participate. So that's our first official random act of kindness for the day. Very excited about the day, and please, please, please be thinking about it and dream up something exciting you can do for somebody in the community. Lisa, thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity.
All right. I might add that on February the 18th in the lobby upstairs, we're going to have our Love Independence community meeting where we're going to be inviting many of you in the room. The community will be invited. There's going to be some intentional invitations sent out so that we can get everyone together and just brainstorm some ideas. But there really won't be any firm structure to this. It is truly just what Gary said, a complete and total day of random acts of kindness. So we encourage you to rally with your places of business, your organizations, your clubs, your churches, your families, your neighborhoods, and come up with some great things to do on that day. And I so look forward to April the 30th on all the love and kindness that will be shared in our community. I want to finish up by saying thank you to our speakers. Thank you to Gary and Ann for sponsoring the breakfast. I think we had a great lineup of speakers. How can you not love independence after listening to these speakers? We have a table full of flyers over there. There is one particular flyer that outlines all of the recycling, so be sure and grab one of those. Take your program with you because it has all of those great activities on the back of it. And then we'll do some 1-minute announcements. So, sure, Renita.
I have a very big voice. Can you hear me? On your tables, I put a sign-up sheet, and if you would like to receive regular email newsletters from us, we're putting this together to inform the community about upcoming projects and projects that we've completed, so you can have an idea. So it's on your table. If you would like to receive those, please give us your contact information. Primarily email.
Great. So yes, if you're interested in being on their contact list, fill that sheet out that's on your tables. Anyone else? Yes, Mike.
Since I got the opportunity, and maybe I'll get a chance to talk more about this next month, but we've got a really special event coming up on April the 9th, and tickets go on sale for February the 15th. Folks, it's the National Fiddler Hall of Fame induction gala. And it's more than just inducting some new world-class fiddlers. It's a big concert and everything. We're talking about major players. We got Doug Kershaw. That's many people here in town informed me might be the best there's ever been. Of course, Jana J will be here. There'll be some other people here. It's going to be an opportunity for us to maybe host for several years, if it does well this year, this National Fiddler Hall of Fame. And my boss knows what I'm all about with tourism. Get people to come to Independence, stay overnight, and spend some money to help our economy. And I'm really glad that I'm working that along with some of the other great things that's going on in town. Love Independence, because I love Independence and I want to bring those kinds of things into this town. So next month I'm going to talk to you more about it, but be thinking about that, how you might be able to be involved, because we're doing everything to have fun. This is going to be a great experience. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Anything else? All right. Well, again, thank you for coming to First Friday. We look forward to seeing you on the first Friday of March, and have a great weekend. Thank you.